Good morning, Reed here, back at Orchestra Farm. The snow is swiftly melting as the rain continues to come down, and say thanks for joining today on this little walkabout. So, last night I was at my men's group, and going over these codes that the group has, and one of them is this thing about like not fighting down. And when I hear that, I think about this old like thing in comedy, which is like, how is the punchline coming for your joke? Is it punching down? Is it straight across? Or is it punching up? Now, if you enjoy comedy, you probably know George Carlin. And my opinion is he was really great at punching up. And he also punched across a bunch, too. You know, recognizing he's on the level with a bunch of different people. But he, as far as I can tell, didn't really punch down. Which is like, let's take someone who's having a hard time. Like, there's all these fail videos that are out there. When I was a kid, it was like America's Funniest Home Videos. And most of them were like somebody like getting their crotch smashed. You know, yeah, it's a bit funny, but it's painful. And that's kind of punching down, right? And so when I think of like fighting down, I think of that same kind of thing. And this notion of, you know, fighting down is really just demeaning to people and, you know, makes the situation feel worse. And so the idea is to fight up, to raise the group people situation with your words and actions. And if there's something that needs to be like taken care of, it's things that are worthy of that. I'm just noticing this giant. So I was working on building up the rocks to this bridge that's here, so in the future we can take a tractor over it. I think it's relatively okay. The other side needs some more stone now, but the tire just like sunk into the earth over here, so that's got to get filled in. I don't know how much you can see the tire trap. Lots to do. And that thing of like, you know, sometimes when, you know, people raise awareness of an issue, like, hey, you aren't in your best moment for this thing, it can be easy to get defensive. And I think that like when those defenses come up, to me that's a situation of like fighting down rather than like taking the feedback and, you know, even expressing appreciation for it, because the person cares enough to tell us that we can do better. And, you know, that's a lot of my aim in life, is to continue to improve and do better. And sometimes that's about like, you know, being clear and honest. And one example I had of that is I shared some of my music with my men's group, and there was no response. Now, I'll be honest, I don't actually need a response. And with that, you know, silence or being ignored is the worst possible response. And yes, that is a response. Whereas, you know, either saying like, oh, I enjoyed this, or no, this is total crap, are both versions of responding. And the thing of like actually hearing someone say like, I don't like this, is feedback, and gosh, that's appreciated. So I had received some feedback for some other parts of myself, and which one of them included just, you know, my being on my process of creating music and such. And again, you can check out my music through my Bandcamp page. There's a link in the description. And if you're still watching right now, I want to say thanks for still watching this. And if you could follow this channel here, that would be like really appreciated. And if you could like or comment too, super appreciate all that. Thank you so much for that. And, you know, when this one guy went and listened to the music, he offered me some wonderful feedback, and the first thing he said was, "I didn't like it." And I was like, yes, good. You know, and this idea of having 1,000 true fans, when you think of like the billions of people on the planet, that's a lot of people who don't like doing. I'm up on a little mound right now, which is actually a really great vantage point. It's going to disappear this year, so let's enjoy that view for a brief moment. The fog, I don't know if you're seeing the fog out there, but it's gorgeous. And you can see how much water is probably just resting there. The water here. And then he went on to explain that, like, you know, it's not the kind of music that you like bump in your car while you're going down the road to, like, you know, get excited to. It's not the kind of music to like turn on when you're ready to make the moves with your beloved, you know. But it is the kind of music that like you want to do some free expressive dance to, or you want to really just open up your mindset and, you know, be brainstorming a whole bunch of things, or to, like, the way I look at it is like going through a storm, and then at the other side of the storm, it's a beautiful clear day, right? The calm after a storm kind of a thing. And in each of those cases, I was like, this is awesome feedback. Like, I super appreciate this. And I want to encourage us in our lives to offer the feedback that matters, and to recognize that, like, don't worry about hurting people's feelings. Feelings are like people's own things, and you could be empathetic, but you could also just recognize that, like, you can understand someone's feelings about it. You don't have to be a jerk with feedback, but like being right to the point is a gift. And for those of us who are trying to continue to improve in our lives and make changes for the better, that's one of the greatest gifts you can offer. So thanks for offering all those gifts, everybody. Thanks for being honest about what you're experiencing and how that's either affecting you or moving you in different ways. And thanks for watching this video. Again, thanks for subscribing, liking, commenting. Can't wait to hear your opinions about all this. And again, if you want to check out my music, it's in the description. bendingreeds.bandcamp.com is the moniker for that. Have too much fun.